Welcome back. Yesterday I spoke about my desire to start a new podcast in the new year in which I would go through the Old Testament and New Testament readings from the ACNA's new Book of Common Prayer and offer some brief reflections upon each reading. Now, I was thinking it would be wonderful if I could offer both the readings by themselves and the readings and reflections within the context of the wider liturgy. As I was thinking about this, I realised it would not be doable with my current resources and technical expertise or lack thereof. And I was thinking I would run the idea past my listeners and see if you have any ideas of ways to make this possible. It would be a wonderful project. So here it is. The ideal for me would be a group of 4 or 5 people recording the morning prayers and the attached readings from the Psalms. Record the morning prayers several times over so that there can be some variety in its performance, and each element of it would be a separate recording. And I would produce 4 sections for the day, the 2 readings from the Old Testament and the New Testament, and then 2 reflections associated with those. And there would be a very basic website where you could input the day, you could customize the elements that you wanted to exclude or include. Perhaps some people want the readings by themselves and don't want the reflections. Perhaps some other people want the Jubilate rather than the Venite, and they would have the chance to choose between those 2 things. Maybe some people want to have a shorter liturgy one day and a longer one the next. So an algorithm would automatically generate or compile the chosen elements into a downloadable file in MP3 and other formats. And then there would also be a standard recording I'd release every single day. First of all, with the elements that I selected of the entire morning prayer, with the readings and reflections attached, and then also just the readings and reflections by themselves. And if this could be almost all automated, it would make it possible. It's not possible if I'm having to read it out every day, or if I'm going to have to set it up, compile all the elements myself manually. But if it were possible to automate this, it would be an amazing resource. And I think it would encourage a lot of people to get into their Bibles in a way that they do not at the moment. As I've said, I'm hoping that it will be something that will encourage people to read their Bible daily, to understand it better, and also that it would be something that would encourage meditation upon Scripture, thinking about it throughout the day and reflecting upon some of its questions and puzzles and just getting more into the text. But this isn't doable for me. It's not something that is within the scope of my abilities, my technical expertise, or the time and money I have available to me. But I was thinking, within the community of people who are listening to this and involved, many of you have been very involved in sending me questions, in giving me suggestions, in supporting what I'm doing financially and with prayer. And I imagine that there are within the group of people who are listening to this skills that would make such a project within the realm of possibility. So I'm throwing this idea out there. If you are interested, if you know how this could be made possible, if you find some way that you could contribute to it, whether by reading, whether by financial support, whether by prayer, or telling others, getting contacts, getting people who have the technical expertise, whatever it is, please get in contact with me. I have a contact form on my blog for my podcasts. So use that contact form, get in contact with me, share any ideas you may have, and if we can make this a possibility, I would be really happy. And I think it would be a great resource for people and do a lot of good. Thank you very much for your time and for your continued support. God bless, and thank you for listening.